Hey, from Studio A at 1 Biloxi Square
Yeah.
in Fort Worth, Texas.
Good.
Welcome in, everyone, to the Grandpa and Pappy Show as we wrap up a week together and have a little fun with you and hopefully bring a smile or two or a thought or two to your mind. That's what the Grandpa and Pappy Show is all about.
Some chagrin.
That's a good word. I like that.
Happy Friday to you,
Yeah,
amigo.
you too,
and
brother.
the divine Miss Karen over here.
You too. A lot of things going on in this great country of ours. Of course, hopefully by now you know if you had any damage from the storm last week that we had, that we talked about on our last show that we visited with you.
Yeah.
Now that the freeze is over and everything is thawed out, folks are finding out if they indeed do have busted pipes or things like this. And one thing I want to say hello and thank you to is our Governor Greg Abbott. He has taken on these small electric companies such as Giddy, who is charging their customers. We saw up to $17,000 on their electric bill.
I'm afraid I'd have to hop the fence and just tell them, sue my ass. I
Yeah.
ain't paying you that.
Well, he is fighting mad over it because a lot of those people didn't even have power during the week, and they get charged thousands of dollars. But he has kind of declared war on them.
You don't piss
He's
old,
going after them.
You don't piss old Ironsides off. He'll light you up.
Yeah.
He
So,
will
Greg,
light you
Governor, thank you very much for looking out for Texans, and we'll keep you updated
Go
on that.
get him, Greg. Yep. He's working hand in hand with the AG's office in the state of Texas, and like you said, he's going after him.
He's going after him.
He
He
don't play.
No, he sure doesn't.
By God.
Today we're going to be talking about why have we forgotten to be kind. Now, this program was written before all of the ice storm hit.
Yeah.
And we ended our program last time we visited with you by us thanking all of you Texans out there for being kind to your neighbors. There's a lot of folks that shared firewood, food, water, things like this.
Advice.
Some of your four-wheeler guys, such as yourself, was pulling people out of ditches.
Yeah.
And things like this. I'll tell you what, even though Texas got caught with their pants down as far as this Arctic weather we had last week,
Yeah.
one thing you can say about Texans, true Texans, we are resilient. We find a way to survive,
We do, yeah.
and we find a way to help our neighbors.
And in all fairness, I'm sure that kindness was extended beyond our border as well, you know, and we appreciate people like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Stepping up.
But before that, a lot of folks were at each other's throats, Pappy, and that's what brought the idea for this program.
Oh,
And you guys, as usual,
stepped
had
up
some really good comments, and
because you rock.
you just rock. And I love the fact that you like the fact that your voice can be heard here on the Grandpa and Pappy Show.
That's what we're all about, by God.
It
we
is.
we just put the show on
Yeah.
based on your opinions.
Your voice will never be silenced
your
here on
voice.
Grandpa and Pappy.
That's right.
Let's take a look at some of the comments that we did
Okay.
get in, and why have we forgotten to be kind.
All right.
Sean Robert Allgood out in California said it's because there's no common sense being taught anymore.
There's those two words. Common
Common
sense.
sense. It comes back to bite you in the butt all the time, doesn't it?
More so than you realize.
Ain't it so?
Robert Miles said, "We have forgotten how to communicate with one another unless we have a dang cell phone stuck to our ear. When is the last time you went to a bar or restaurant and just saw people talking with one another with someone being on their phone? Or without someone being on the phone?"
Yeah.
Well, that'd been just this past evening.
Yeah.
We have forgotten how to be kind to each other because we don't take time to communicate with each other anymore. That's why. That's certainly one main reason.
Yeah, and Robert, I will say that even at the field office,
You know?
we see people looking and communicating on their phones all the time.
And I'm guilty of it. I'm
And what
guilty.
is it about getting in a car? The first thing you do, a lot of people, they start making a phone call. What is it with that?
I don't know.
It gets me.
I know it's caused a lot of wrecks out on the roads.
You
but,
know, some people, I mean, first thing
I'm
that-
hooked in through my dash, so I can tell my phone, call Grandpa, and it'll dial his number. So
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, that's good. But I see so many people talking on the phone. For a lot of folks,
Right.
first thing you do is light a cigarette. You get it?
Well, that's me. That is me.
Well, there you go. There you go. Tammy Doyle Young said it is not a hard concept to be nice. It takes less energy to be nice than it does to be ugly and mean.
Yep.
Shanna Robertson agreed, saying, "You hit it on the head, girl. It isn't hard to be nice, but no one takes the time to do it anymore."
It's just like the old familiar adage. I'm sure everybody's heard it growing up. It takes a lot more muscles to create a frown than it does a smile. So
That's true. That's very
fact.
true.
That's a fact. James O'Donnell said A, because it's easy to be a keyboard meanie with no consequences.
There you
And B, because it's considered too savage or not politically correct to bust someone in the mouth anymore for saying things that they should not be saying. That's old school right there, James.
Yeah, he is. And James is big enough to do it, too.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
I would imagine so.
Michael Miles said it's because people today wasn't taught to be kind. When I was growing up, we were kind to everyone, regardless of race or color.
Yeah.
We were all the same. I think this world, with all of this propaganda being spread by the media, has become callous to one another, and the political correctness crap hasn't helped any either.
You know, that's hitting a nail on the head, Michael.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's the root of it. right there.
Politically correct.
Oh, yes.
That's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
It's kind of like jumbo shrimp, you know. Don't make sense.
Yeah, you can get it at Kmart.
That's
Yeah.
right. Oh, now here's from somebody we hadn't heard from in a while. George Schultz, right here in Fort Worth, said it's because people think you owe them. Thomas White said it's a very interesting theory and just might be the truth.
Well, there you go, George. Our buddy George.
That's somebody to slap a pop knot on your head
Real quick.
in a heartbeat.
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Jim Younger says common sense was taken away and replaced by government guidelines.
Yeah.
It started with prayers in schools and frickin' timeout.
Yep.
And Alice Harvey said it is the Democrats
Democrats.
that destroyed it. I love that word, Democrats.
I'm going to have to add that to my pappyism list. What you got, K-Bird?
I was going to say, and now it's all the cancel culture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw on the news today,
Cancel
earlier
culture.
in the week where they're trying to censor the Muppets, of all people. The Muppets. Think about this. Because Miss Piggy is politically incorrect.
No more rubber ducky for you.
She is a porker.
Porker.
Thank you.
That's a fact.
Well,
I mean,
but
hell,
come
they even took Elmer Fudd's shotgun away from him. For
yeah,
crying
no
out loud.
kidding.
I mean,
No kidding.
nobody's safe anymore.
Yeah, you can't let the Roadrunner and the Coyote get after it anymore either. You know.
It's got rid of the big rock.
Yeah, and hits him with a little pebble.
That's right. Candace Wilson said, "I believe it started during Barack Obama's years as president. When civil unrest really began, he stoked the fires of hate instead of bringing people together. He's still doing it today, and that's the problem we're facing. African Americans are actually buying into his hate and rhetoric instead of using common sense to get along, thus creating an unkind atmosphere."
Very well said, Candace.
Yeah, he's been known to stir the pot up, Candace.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Floyd said people these days feel entitled, which brings about selfishness. Robert Thomas said, "I agree with that. Entitlement only brings about unrest and discord with citizens." And that is so true.
That's a fact.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we have more of your comments as we talk today on why have we forgotten to be kind. But first, let's check this out.
Let's do. Lady in that picture looked
Very familiar.
remotely familiar.
Welcome back, everybody. Why have we forgotten to be kind? Well, let's go right back to your comments, Pappy, and lead us off.
Brandon Cummings told us, 1, there are no consequences anymore. 2, the cost of living is so high, both parents have to work to provide. And 3, the public has been desensitized due to the trash we consume ourselves with.
Beautiful.
That's a fact. The music, movies, and video games. Carol Purvis Kurvosky said, I wished I knew.
Plain and simple.
That's
It's about
right.
as simple as you can get there.
That's right.
James Lanham said it's the crime rate that has caused all of the problems. We used to stop on the side of the road to help people with car trouble. Now we just pass on by for fear they may have a gun, rob us, shoot us, or take our car. No wonder police officers are so leery about approaching stopped vehicles, and all the dark windows doesn't help either. We've lost our sense of responsibility in today's world. Instead of cooperating, we argue. That gets us nowhere.
Absolutely nowhere.
That's hitting it right on the head there.
If you don't believe me, try starting an argument with Helen. It will not get you far.
Yeah.
In all due respect. Stephanie Williams said the traditional family unit is no more. We as a society are not being taught manners. We're desensitized to things we should make that should make us cringe. We spend all of our time on our phones rather than with others learning manners and the basic necessities of kindness.
Very good. Very good point. Cassie Terry said it all started with everyone gets a trophy.
Boom.
Even if you're last, you get a trophy.
Yep.
People think they're entitled or have the right and don't like to be told otherwise.
Ain't it so? Well said, Cass.
You know, I've related on this show before. It took me 3 times to make the Little League baseball team when I was growing up because I wasn't good enough.
You didn't get a damn trophy any
No.
one of those 3 times, did you?
I mean, 3 times, and I was determined. And thank God for my brother and one of our other friends when I was growing up. They taught me how to play the game of baseball right, and I made it.
There you go.
I did pretty well at it then.
There you go.
But hey,
Then
kids
you got a
don't learn
trophy.
that. Kids don't learn if you don't try hard that you won't succeed. Sometimes lessons growing up, Pappy, were hard learned.
Well, and I even learned at a young, tender age, if you try something that you got your heart set on,
Yeah.
and it fails, and you keep trying, and it keeps fails with the same result, look for something else to do that you're good at. You know, I mean, good God. Shoshana Henderson says it's because people have shunned God. With God not in your heart, you have no moral compass. Tommy Parker agreed with her, saying, Amen.
Amen.
By God.
Can I have someone testify?
Hello,
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Shoshana. And that's exactly correct. I feel the same
said.
way.
Yeah, people are getting away from their faith and beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Marcia K. Feinstein said, I agree with the previous opinion, but it goes deeper than that.
Yeah.
How come your movies and TV shows now are all about Satan or devils, and there is nothing about God? I think the last shows I can remember that showed the goodness of God was Touched by an Angel or Highway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Now it's all about vampires, werewolves, people becoming obsessed, demons chasing after us, and things like that.
Yep.
After being pounded into our psyche for so long, night after night, and week after week, you can see where religion has been all but put on the back burner, and along with it, our morals and kindness to one another.
Well, can't have one without all the rest of them
Dang, I
going
like
out
that.
the door. That's powerful stuff, Marcia.
My
What-
God.
And she's
by
right.
God. Yeah,
You know,
that-
she's
that
right.
Deserves, that deserves a pine box, by God.
You can't turn on a TV show today without something glorifying the devil
Ain't
in
it so?
some form or fashion.
Or something that's non-moralistic going on. They're
That's
trying
correct.
to shove up your backside.
That's correct.
And Mark Carrington answered saying, yes, it's the devil's playground. Ain't it
Short,
so?
sweet, and to the point there,
That's
boy.
right.
I like it, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah.
Tracy Sanchez said, because some people are buttholes. I changed that wording around. It is all about them, especially the young ones. Everyone texts and no one communicates. so that it tends to make you lose compassion for people or how to talk to people.
Yeah.
Then, when you say what you really feel to someone, they're going to try to sue you or put you on the news and make you look like a bad person.
That's a fact. Yeah. That's true.
That is true.
You can sue anybody for
Anything, anytime.
anytime by
Yeah.
just paying a simple little court cost.
Good Lord of mercy.
It's crazy. Timmy Morgan said to me it's because it's not taught in the home, and we coddle our children too much. How can you teach respect to your kids when you run to the schoolhouse to rebuke the teacher for disciplining your kid? And that's true. I've almost been tossed in the pokey for that. What do they learn from that? They can be as rude or throw temper tantrums, and they know that you will take up for them. That's true. That's true. You see that a lot. I'm so sorry they took away a parent's right to discipline their kids. I guarantee you don't see anyone over 45 riding in the streets and destroying things. That's because they were taught better and paid the price when they were in the wrong. Tiffany Chestnut simply said, it's a lack of basic respect.
And that too. Yeah.
I know people from our era, and I've still got callus marks on my butt to show for it. And you didn't have to get out and riot and burn things to get your butt beat back in
No,
those days.
not at all. Not at all. And I still feel my dad would get up out of his grave and come after my butt if I did something like that. You know, it was instilled at a young age and, reinforced throughout growing up into manhood. You know, it just sticks with you.
No.
Doesn't cost anything
Well,
to
you
be
see all
nice.
the pictures of these manhood people these days.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I try to be as broad-minded as I can, but seeing men in dresses and high heels,
Makeup,
just can't handle that. I'm sorry.
changed her name, and he was a she, and I don't get it.
Yeah. Mike Mackey told us that the reason is that younger parents have stopped emphasizing social etiquette as a core value.
Yeah,
Boy, that's heavy.
yeah.
Typically, our society has evolved into one of an it's all about me attitude. Case in point, just watch how parents who are 40 and below allow their children to act up in public with no sort of disciplinary action as a result of their actions.
It's not everybody, though.
Yeah. If I had have acted like that in public or privately for that matter, my parents would have tanned my hide where I couldn't have sat down for a week. Have you witnessed what I have as a trend? Yes,
Yeah,
I have.
every day. Yeah, but I guarantee you one thing: when Papa Bear comes home, my granddaughter minds him.
I heard that.
He'll paddle her. I mean, he won't spank her. He'll paddle her butt, just enough to hurt her feelings, and then he probably goes to another room immediately and cries over it, knowing him. But yeah, he believes in that disciplinary action.
Well, there you go.
Big Matt Bannister said it's because no one listens to each other. Donna Briggs Moss believes that with both parents working, the kids are given stuff to keep them entertained. Parents have so little time with them that they hate punishing for what they're doing wrong and letting it slide. It is like a snowball rolling down a hill, picking up more momentum. It's now completely out of control.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never too late to change things. But I mean,
Donna, I agree
I
with
do
what
too.
you just said.
I do too. But it's it'll come back if we allow it.
And I agree too, because now what the parents do is they plop an iPad in front of their kid,
Yeah,
and that's what they do.
yeah.
They don't really get out and play. They don't do anything. So
it's a cheap way,
Yeah.
cheap form of babysitting is what it is.
yeah,
It
well,
is,
I
and-
mean, my daughter does it with my granddaughter.
Yeah.
When she wants her.
Well, and Natalie, but Natalie, most of Natalie, my granddaughter, Natalie's stuff is learning enhancements.
Mm-hmm.
For what she's doing. So
Good for you, Cassie.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she is good with that baby girl.
David Watson says, divided we fail or fall.
Yeah.
That's how it was planned by the evils of darkness. Okay. Michael Watson said, Pappy Terry put it best. It's because parents aren't parenting anymore, primarily because they're not allowed to.
That's a fact.
Why can a kid call CPS if they're disciplined or punished by a spanking or being confined to their room?
Yep.
What do they learn? Okay, I'll show my parents what they say. They called CPS and report their parents physically and mentally abusing them, they come out, file a report on the parents, and in some cases take the child away. Boy, that shows who's boss. I'm not saying that there is not child abuse, because there is, but every child knows now that they can call their parents in if they want to. Wow, that's a big teaching tool.
You know, that's very well said, David. I mean, and in
that's a
some
shame.
cases they'll take the parent to jail because, I mean, and I'm not going to get too deep in it, but one of my 3 boys, I'm not going to mention his name, but his initials are JT. Okay, I'll leave it at
All
that.
of them are JT. I mean, come on.
Was playing on a stack of wood out on the back patio. We had 2 cords piled up, and I told him and his little friend, in fact, it was Rory Belinda's daughter. I told him, stay off the wood pile. Well, of course, you tell a child you can't do that. Well, what's going to happen? They're
They're
going
going to do it.
Well, long story short, he got up on the damn wood pile, fell off, and bruised his hip.
Yeah.
This was on a Sunday, I believe. Saturday, I get a knock on the door, and it's a Harris County deputy with a lady from CPS. And who was standing beside him? Little JT. And he knew he was in deep kimchi. I could tell the way he looked up at us. I said, what's going on? I said, what have you done? And that CPS lady said, it's not a matter of what he did, Mr. Terry. We want to know how he got that bruise on his hip. I said, what bruise? Brought him in, drop him. And I mean, his whole hip was bruised. I said, what happened? He goes, I played on the wood pile. And I kind of looked at Deputy Sheriff, just kind of leaned back like, oh, okay.
Here he comes.
I said, well, I'll tell you what, y'all might want to stick around because he's about to have a bruise to match that right hip all across his ass. And if you don't like it, you better take him with you or put me in jail. I mean, I was fumed. And I did. I lit his butt up. They let that Deputy Sheriff takes the CPS lady back out to the car and talked to her. And she didn't come back up. He comes and goes, I don't believe we got any problem here. I said, no, but he's about to. He just kind of grinned and said, have a good day.
I was teasing with my father before he passed away. I was in my 30s, and I was kidding him about all the times that they tore our butts up, mine and my brothers,
Oh, boy.
growing up. And I said, you realize today that we could call CPS and report you and Mom
Yep.
for beating us like that?
Yep.
I said, what would you have done if would have called him? He just looked at me straight faced, not a crack of smile, nothing. He just said, well, they would have found a dead kid.
They'd have been looking for a fresh dug grave somewhere. By the way, it was a pops, too.
Oh, no call, no kidding.
Tell you just didn't do it. I mean, that was back in the day when we were kids. You're playing 4 doors down front yard and you screw up, and the kid's mom would come out and beat your ass with a switch and take you home by your ear and you get it again.
Yes,
for
absolutely.
acting a
That
fool in
happened to
front
me
of-
many times.
Yeah, it happened to me about
Yeah.
3 or 12 times. So, oh, Lordy.
Ron,
Ron Roberts said, I'm not sure. Some grow older and closed-minded. Others enjoy life, avoiding ridiculous distractions. Hunter Scott said, because people hate stupid. Yeah. Bobby Bright said, by what standards do we live if not Christians? But Paul Garrison just said, because I hate them some bitches.
well, there you
I'm
go.
not sure who Paul was talking about, but
Well, Paul, you got your message across. There you go.
by God.
Pardon me. Sorry. And finally, today, Martha Heinemann said, with 24-hour news channels filling our heads with crap,
Yeah.
it's no wonder we're unkind and divided.
Yep.
They portray one political side or the other as being terrorist or some such nonsense.
Yeah.
There are very few feel-good stories being broadcast anymore, so it's no wonder our country is in the shape it's in. God help us all.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when's the last time you saw a newscast of a Boy Scout helping a little old lady across the street? You know,
Never.
I mean, you don't see that stuff
Yeah, you don't see
anymore.
that. No, not at all.
Boy Scout now pick her pocket, push her down in the street, and be gone.
Well, Boy Scout today may be a girl,
I ain't no lie.
you know.
That's Still hadn't figured that one out either.
I haven't either. I quit trying to figure out stupidity.
I guess
you
it's
know.
racist these days, this day and age, to differentiate boys from girls.
Yeah.
Like black from white, or
That's what
brown
they say.
from green, or polka dots on pink, whatever.
Well, we thank you for all the comments as usual.
Yeah.
And we want to get to some of our viewer comments now that you have sent in to us.
Yeah.
Sean Paul Rigg commented on our $15 an hour minimum wage show. He said, in the simplest form of an answer to your question is when you say, I asked for sour cream on the side, and you want $15 an hour?
Don't even know how to flip a damn hamburger. But you want more money.
Oh, God, Sean, I love
That's
it.
pretty well put, Sean. Thanks for sending that in. Rick Mason watched a show on if President Trump will be convicted of impeachment this week. He said, not if you follow the rule of law and the Constitution, but then again, the Democrats are using up lots of tissues describing their fear on January 6th. Get real.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, President Trump was acquitted of all charges.
He was.
So there you go.
And he meant it when he said he wasn't a crook.
I am not a crook.
I'm not a crook.
Queen's staff commented on YouTube on her favorite show growing up. She said it was Star Trek and the Monkees. Davy Jones was just dreamy.
Just so dreamy.
That's probably Karen, too. Karen, are you Queen staff?
You going
She
back?
had a crush on Davy Jones.
Oh,
What
I
I-
tell you what.
I actually met him in person.
Do I?
I actually met him and Mickey Dolenz in person.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the only people
Yeah.
around that you had to look down
Yep.
to
And
see.
in
Huh?
fact, I danced with Mickey Dolenz. I was older. I was like,
Mickey Doe, he was a drummer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
he was a drummer.
He
yeah.
was the drummer and
I
singer
liked,
most of the time.
Peter Tork. He was the true musician of that band.
He
Yeah.
was. He was.
Both Mickey Dolenz and Davy Jones were like 4'11".
Seen him, but I never got to meet him. But I saw him one time. Had to take my goofy sister to go see him.
Well, there you go.
Simone Elliott said, I just watched your show on why people hate Trump so much. I believe it's because for once someone went to Washington to take care of the people instead of him falling in line with the other career politicians.
Bingo.
Such a shame and a sham.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that's what old Donald's saying about now.
No kidding.
Everybody out there crazy and a crap house rat, man. All I'm trying to do is help them, you know.
Goofy and a run over dog.
That's right.
Yeah. Wesley Paul wound up our comments today by saying, I can't seem to get on YouTube for some reason, but I've watched your show on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
I have liked and agreed with most of what you say, but it is the comments from the viewers that really make it interesting.
Absolutely.
Keep it up, fellas.
Good point, brother.
Wesley,
Good point,
thank you.
Wes.
That's our point exactly
That's-
every week.
It took us 2.5 years or so to hash out why, how we need to set this platform up.
And
based
make
on
it
the
different
show.
from the other podcasts. What it is that we have given you the opportunity for your voice to be heard on all the topics that we're talking about. We're not censoring you.
Yep.
So your voice, good or bad, is going to be heard here on the Grandpa and Pappy Show.
Speaking of which, if you've got a show topic or an idea, by all means, shoot it to us. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about it. Just shoot it to us. If it's on your mind, we want to hear it. Because
You can send it.
we are listening, by God.
We are listening. We are listening, and we do every day.
And your voice matters. Don't ever think that it doesn't.
You can send it your ideas over my shoulder, you see. Our email address, which is grandpaandpappy@gmail.com.
Yep.
Or
Or you can simply hit us up directly on the show website page, which can be found by keying in www.grandpa.com. That's www.grandpaandpappy.com, where you'll see this red button right there that always magically appears. And push it, devise a password, and subscribe. It won't cost you one thin penny.
it's absolutely free.
It is. It is, and it means so much to us, as well as other listeners too, to know what's on your mind out there.
Absolutely.
While you're on that website, it's YouTube driven. It'll take you straight to the YouTube page, the show page, where you can watch any one of about 130 shows or so in it.
Yep,
There you go.
this is our 130th
Yeah.
show,
Yep.
and we couldn't have done it without you guys.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
It really is. It really
Yeah,
is.
I mean,
and
you can give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, state your opinion, make comments on any subject that you deem fit to talk about.
and we've been renewed for another year.
That's right.
Thanks
Yeah.
to our friends at Core Assets in Houston.
That's right.
Thank you very much for that, guys. We appreciate it very much.
We do. We love you.
You can always go on our Facebook group page where you can see the comments that 98, 99% of the comments there are the ones that you hear here.
Yeah.
So we invite you to do that.
Yeah, and we ask that you respect other people's opinion, whether you agree or disagree with them.
That's correct.
Just respect their right of opinion as they do yours.
That is correct.
We're very stern on that matter.
We are.
You know, if you stir some stink up, it's bye-bye. We'll send you to your spirit world.
There you go.
But anyway, yeah, we enjoy hearing from you. In fact, we love hearing from you guys. Y'all
sure
y'all
do.
are awesome, man. I mean, our listeners.
They are.
They rock.
They
You
sure
guys
are.
rock, Yeah.
Just a quick get well to our friend Jerry Williamson.
Yeah.
Jerry, get those ribs well
Yeah.
and get off them crutches.
Now, I hope this week has turned into a big pine box full of good juju on your healing process. 'Cause
Absolutely.
those 12 broken ribs. Oh man,
I still got to find out what he did.
it was something. It was something. No, we know whatever
Yeah.
it was.
But anyway, get well, Jerry.
Yeah, do
It's
that.
been fun this week. Pappy and I are happy to be back in the saddle with you. Happy to have
Yeah.
my pal here back in the saddle after his little trip to Houston to see his
Excursion.
kid and grandkids.
Yeah. Good
So
to be home.
we invite you to join us next week for another edition of the Grandpa and Pappy
Yeah,
Show.
please, by all means.
Until we see you again, we always tell you to hug your kids and let them know you love them.
Let them know they're well loved right here at the Grandpa and Pappy Show. To by God.
Absolutely. So until we see you next week, have yourself a great day. Take care of each other. God bless you and God bless the USA.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye-bye.